Hey, cause he's Spider-Man, he does some stuff with his hand. Yeah, he's Spider-Man. That's man. Yeah. I'm sorry guys, just come back. We're gonna draw Spider-Man. Alright, I am super excited today because today we're drawing my favorite superhero of all time. That's right, it's Spider-Man. And we're going to start off with the line of action, but I'm going to draw a little lighter this time because the reason why I was drawing so dark in the past is because the camera kind of couldn't pick up the light line, so I had to draw a little darker. But you should know that when you draw with the underlining color pencil, don't push too hard. It's a light accent, but you should barely notice it, if anything. So anyways, let's go ahead and start off the drawing. Start off with the head, set it up like a typical oval, like a normal character, and follow that line of action, which is where we're gonna, follow along and place the parts accordingly. Spider-Man, he's made up of pretty much all circles, which is pretty cool. He's made up of all circles and one triangle, and I'll show you where that triangle is. It's probably not where you're thinking it's gonna be. Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna lay him out. He's got a skinny head but a really buff body. Peter Parker, you would never really tell that because he's such a nerd like me, I guess. But anyways, we're gonna lay him out. I know he looks like the Michelin Tire Man, but I swear we're gonna be drawing Spider-Man right now. So we're laying out the hands right now. The hand is gonna be abnormally big for the character. It's gonna look out of proportion. But once we're done with this effect, it's going to look just like it's a 3D picture. So now moving on towards the pinky, you notice that I put 3 circles in an oval. That's going to help you out later on when we're defining the shape of the finger, because fingers aren't just some tubes. They have some definition, and these are going to help you along the way. Now we place a line of action for the thighs and the calves and, all the muscular parts of his lower half. Keep it clean. Keep it classy, San Diego. Anyways, and you notice that his calves are kind of bulged out. That's because in this pose, his calves are pushing against his thighs. So, when you do that little trick, pushing your arm up, your arms naturally bulge out. So that's what we're doing right there. And there's that triangle I told you. See, I bet you didn't even expect it to be on the hand, but it is. And so we're gonna map it out, put the tubes, the temporary tubes, I should say, on that triangle for his fingers. And go ahead and place the eyes. He's got kind of a, half cylinder shape eyes. You guys know what his eyes are. And let's trim him up a little bit. I mean, he was looking kind of a little chubby right there. A little chubby. All right, now time to whip out that pencil. And whoa, that sounded bad. But we're going to go ahead and take out the defining regular pencil. I use Dixon Ticonderoga, which is a lot of people ask me that. And I'm going to start defining the edges, coloring it in. And when you're defining the muscles on the arm, remember, it's not a bunch of bubbles. Those are just to help you start the drawing. You want to make it more of an anatomy type drawing, because that's what, the original creator, Stan Lee, what he did is really base it off of, an acrobatic type character, but it's still realistic. It's not super buff, unbelievably, yeah, so you want to make sure that the anatomy is right, the shapes look natural. And go ahead and add some definition. That's going to give some cool effects to make sure the muscles look like they're going to be bulging out. Now it's time to do the fingers, and like I said before, the fingers are not just straight tubes, because if you do that, it's not going to be believable. So look at your fingers, and when you bend your fingers the way he is, you want to notice they have some bumps and creases and all that good stuff. Now we're defining the shoulders. On the 3D part of the drawing, the more coming at you type, the shadow again is going to sell it. And when I draw my shadows, I like to do a smooth line and then color in the line. It still keeps it clean, keeps it organized. And then have fun defining the edges of the muscles on his biceps, triceps. And let's move on to the big hands, because you know what they say about big hands. Keep it clean, Vic. Keep it clean. Never mind. Anyways, so we're going to move on. You can study your hand. Just make that rock on symbol. And now let's move on to that pinky with those 3 circles that I had originally showed you. See how it naturally just looks more like a finger than versus just a straight up tube. And we're going to erase them go lighter with them, but those circles are really going to help you. So really, when you're working on fingers, no matter which fingers they are, you can break it down into 3 different tubes like that, 3 different circles, I should say. And add in some shadows to those fingers, giving it some cool lighting effects that we will clean up in a little bit, but I'm just starting to give you guys some kind of cool ideas. Take a step back, look at your drawing, doing pretty good. Now it's time to work on those legs, and remember, when we're doing these parts, because his calves are pushed up against his thighs, they're gonna bulge out a little bit and make him look a little more buffer than he really is. But yeah, so remember, it's not gonna be exactly the same shape as if he was standing. It's gonna be a little more bulged out, and you want to show the edge of the calf as well as the bottom of the heel down there. He's very flexible, man. I wish I had half his flexibility. I actually wish I could do half of the things he can do. I think spider webs is a necessity in all humans. I think we all should be able to have some kind of spider web. Anyways, so go ahead and work on the other legs. Here's some more ideas on what to do with the shading. And, you know, after you're done cleaning that up, again, take a step back and look at your drawing. Looking sweet! All right, so now we want to move on to the web, and a little hint when you're working on the head. The top half, it has an upward flow with his web, while the bottom half seems to be going downwards towards his chin. And then get creative with the web all around his body, and bada bing, bada boom, you got Spider-Man! Spider-Man! Congratulations, animators, you made it through another tutorial, and hey, now you know how to draw Spider-Man, so yeah, show it off to your friends. But I'm still curious, if you had the chance to have one Spider-Man power, what would it be? Leave it in a comment or a video response below, and hey, don't forget to rate and subscribe while you're there. Alright, that's it for this episode, but before we go, I want to show you a quick sneak peek at a new animated quickie I did featuring Timothy DeLaGhetto and Ricky Shucks. Check it out.
I love your Midwest, let's get in the pool, Rick!
And oh, did I mention too, I'm working on an animated web series called My Life is a Video Game? Check this out. Yeah, a lot of cool things coming in store, so you can keep it right here on Stay Tuned Animation. Boom!